Hello friends, today we are going to discuss second important part of unit number 8, energy audit and energy conservation. Out of that energy audit part, it has been covered in previous some of the video lectures, and now we are going to concentrate on the last part of unit 8, which is nothing but energy conservation. First of all, I am Professor Yashpal Khedkar from Sweris College of Engineering, Pandharpur. Would like to welcome you in this study video lecture, Energy Conservation Part 1. First of all, we will concentrate on the syllabus of this energy conservation. In that syllabus, first part is of the introduction of energy conservation. Then we are going to study Energy Conservation Act 2001 and its feature. In third part, we will concentrate on energy conservation in industries. Especially, we are going to concentrate on process industries, that is chemical industry, cement industry as well as sugar industry, because India is one of the leading country in production of chemicals, cement and sugar. And the last part of this energy conservation is energy conservation in household and commercial sector. All these points from introduction to the energy conservation up to commercial sector, we are going to discuss in this video. Let us start with the definition. The definition of energy conservation. Energy conservation is the effort made to reduce the consumption of energy by using less or an energy service. For example, we are using different kind of the equipments at our home. For example, bulbs, tube lights, fans, refrigerator and air conditioners, microwaves, ovens and washing machines, etc. We are utilizing it whenever its use is necessary. But it has been observed that at some time, though there is no need of the fans or the lights, we are making it on. So if we will monitor that activity and if we will start making on all the electrical equipment when its use is necessary, then definitely the electricity is going to be conserved, it can be saved, and that saving in the electricity is known as the energy conservation. We know that when we are producing or preparing the electricity, lot of energy sources we will have to invest to make the electricity. So if we will conserve the energy, definitely the energy sources which are required to produce the electricity also can be conserved, and hence we can utilize the energy sources for the longer duration, and its wastage of the energy is going to be get saved. So such energy conservation can be achieved by either by using energy more efficiently. More efficiently energy means we will have to provide the less input and we will have to get more output as compared to our day-to-day output. And it can be possible by using the less energy for a constant service or by reducing the amount of service used. Here are the two methods which have been provided over here to achieve the energy conservation. We will have to concentrate that only these two are the methods by which we can control the energy use which we are doing to run different electrical equipment in our day-to-day life. Now, we will move towards the next slide to discuss this bit more. Energy conservation refers to efforts made to reduce energy consumption. This part we have seen in a previous slide, and how we can reduce the energy consumption, that part we are going to discuss hereafter. The energy conservation can be achieved through number 1, increase efficient energy use and reduced consumption for conventional energy sources. So, here more specifically in second point it is mentioned that we can reduce the consumption from conventional energy sources. It means instead of using conventional energy sources, if we will start the consumption of the energy that non-conventional energy sources, then that can be added in the energy conservation, and it can save the conventional fluids like the coal, natural gases, petroleum products like petrol, diesel, kerosene, etc. Because we know that conventional energy sources has a limited quota, limited storage on our earth, and definitely one day it is going to be get finished. If we will use the non-conventional energy sources more and more, then definitely we can use the conventional energy sources for the longer duration. And the first point we have discussed already, increased efficient energy, means we will have to use the less amount of the energy and we will have to get constant work done, means there should not be any variation in the work output. In this way also we can conserve the energy. What will be the output or what we are going to get when we will conserve the energy? So, here in front of you there is a result of the energy conservation. Energy conservation can increase the 5 important factors which we are going to discuss. The first factor is financial capital. The financial capital definitely going to be increased by the energy conservation. The first part in this energy conservation can increase is financial capital. We know that to produce the energy, to produce the electricity, we need to go for some of the infrastructure. We will have to go for some of the construction. At the same time, we will have to invest lot of money in the fuel, in the labor cost, in the depreciation cost, etc., etc. So, when energy demand is more, then we will have to go for construction of the more sites for the production of the energy, production of the electricity. If we will conserve the energy, then definitely energy requirement is going to be get reduced, so that we can manage the electric supply or the energy supply with the help of limited infrastructure. And if infrastructure is limited, the power plants are going to be limited, then definitely the investment on the fuel, on the labor, in the transmission of the electricity, its distribution cost, everything will be get controlled, and that particular money can be saved. So definitely saving in the financial capital can increase the same, and that's why we will have to go for energy conservation to save the money. The second aspect of the energy conservation is environmental quality. We know that most of the time we are getting the energy from number 1 hydropower plant, thermal power plant and nuclear power plant, and we know that there are many disadvantages when we are going to construct such power plant at a particular site. For example, if we are going to construct hydroelectric power plant, it is definitely not going to produce the pollution, but yes, definitely there will be some of the ecological problem, geological and geographical problem can be increased within or during in that particular location. If we will take example of the thermal power plant, we can observe the rise in the temperature at the nearest ecological zone of the thermal power plant. Its wastage can produce the air pollution. Nuclear power plant, where nuclear reactors are utilized to control the fission or the fusion process, but still from such kind of the nuclear power plant, the nuclear wastage we are getting, and such kind of the waste or destruction of such kind of the waste material is very much complicated process. If there may be some of the accident, definitely the lot of radiations can come out and it can affect the environment. So if we can keep the power, the strength of the power plant, the numbers of power plant as less as possible, then definitely we can improve the environment quality. But to do that, we will have to conserve the energy, then and then only it is possible. Number 3 point which we are going to discuss is nothing but the national security, and number 4 is the personal security. This national security and personal security both are almost linked with each other, because as we are going to conserve the energy, then there will be less number of power plants, and if number of power plants are going to be less, then its protection will be easy. At the same time, if we will conserve the energy, then more number of the much energy can be utilized properly, and it can save lot of money, and that is the part is related with the national security. Means we can get the financial as well as social security by conserving the energy and by limiting the power plant. And at the same time, if we can conserve the energy, then every person can utilize it as per his or her need, and if he or she will conserve the energy, then definitely they will have to pay back very less amount in the form of the tariff. So personally, the electricity will be available as per the demand of the person whenever it is necessary, if we will conserve the energy properly. So that is one point we can add in the personal security. The last part in energy conservation can increase the human comfort. We know that we are utilizing many electrical equipment for in our day-to-day life. Such equipment has made life of human very comfortable, because these are nothing but the machines, and machine can reduce the work effort for the human being. For example, in the evening or in the night or in absence of the daylight, we are utilizing bulbs or the tube lights to get the proper amount of the light. If such light is going to be available, then the person can work in the night time or in the evening time without affecting on his or her efficiency of the work. At the same time, during hot temperature or during the summer days, person can utilize the fans, air coolers or air conditioning system, which can keep the body temperature of the human being very much optimum. And when the human's body temperature is optimum one, then definitely he or she can work more effectively and it will provide comfort to the human. At the same time, the electricity can be utilized in our day-to-day work. For example, pumping of the water, washing the clothes, then in the form of the electric heaters, etc., etc. So, for the human comfort, energy is very much required, and if we can conserve the energy, then more amount of the energy will be available for the constant utilization of the human being, and that will increase the human comfort. Now, we have discussed about various things, various factors related with the energy conservation. Then the question is, if we are in a position to produce huge amount of the energy with the help of our power plant constantly, why we will have to go for the energy conservation? So, the particular question, it has been discussed in this slide. Why energy conservation has been performed? There are two important reasons for an individual and for the organizations, and both the reasons are related with the money. Both the reasons are related with the cost. The first reason is individuals and organizations that are direct consumers of energy choose to conserve energy to reduce energy cost and promote economic security. It means the human being who are using the electricity to get their day-to-day work done, and the organizations which are using the electricity to perform their task, who are considered as the direct consumer of the energy, they are choosing to conserve the energy. The first reason behind it is to reduce the energy cost. If such kind of an individual or organizations will start energy conservation, then definitely the energy will be saved, the electric units means kilowatt hour, it can be also saved, and if number of units and the maximum demand is going to be get reduced, then definitely tariff is also going to be get reduced. we have seen this part of the fixed cost and running cost. We have seen this part of the maximum demand and the units consumed in the chapter number 4, economic analysis of the power plant. So if we are in a position to control the maximum demand and the utilization or consumption of energy, definitely cost of energy is going to be get reduced, and if cost is going to be get reduced, then less tariff we will have to provide to the energy production units, energy power plants, and that saving of the money can provide the economic security, because that much fund is also going to be get saved, which we are providing to the power plant organizations or the power plant companies. Number 2, industrial and commercial users can increase the energy use efficiency to maximize the profit. Now we know that if we save the electricity, then automatically the fund which we will have to provide in the form of the tariff of the electricity is also going to be get saved, and as it is going to be get saved, then in industry and in the commercial sector the product cost is going to be get reduced, because in manufacturing cost or in a product cost we are including the money which we are investing on the electricity use also. If you are in a position to save that particular money on the energy, then definitely the product cost is going to be get reduced, and the reduced power that production cost with the efficiency definitely going to increase the profit. If production cost is less and its selling price is we will keep as it is, then difference between the selling price and difference between the production cost is that particular margin is going to be get increased, and that particular margin is known as the profit. So if we will conserve the energy, we can save the money, we can decrease the product cost, and due to which we can increase the profit. So these two important reasons we have discussed over here, and this is nothing but the answer why energy conservation has been performed. So friends, this was the introductory part of the energy conservation. In the next video lecture we are going to discuss about Energy Conservation Act 2001 and its feature. So by that time, all the best. Thank you.